Today I'm here to talk. Alright, I'll start now. What's up, Brickin' Gamers? Today I'm here to talk about the games I played for the month of October. So you see, I did this thing, Spooktober, where I play 31 spooky games. The Halloween theme, right? Why did I decide to do this? I don't know. Will I do it in the future? Will I do it next year? Will I do it the year after that? I don't know, dude. But I did it this year, so I'm going to talk about the 31 games. Here we have Taboo the Sixth Sense by Rare. You see, Rare is a pretty famous developer. Microsoft bought them because they make great games like Taboo the Sixth Sense. This is not even a video game. This is like a fortune teller thing. Like, there's no gameplay to be found. I don't even know why this game exists. I mean, think about it. This must have taken them 5 minutes to make. It's just like a fortune teller game. You press A, nothing happens. This is not even a video game. Truly, possibly the worst game I've ever played for the NES, possibly all time. I cannot believe this is a thing that exists, pretty much. Alone in the Dark for the Game Boy Color. Now, this is not the Alone in the Dark, the new nightmare that everyone knows and loves for whatever systems that was on. This is the Game Boy Color edition because I was looking at Game Boy Color, Game Boy games that are considered spooky. This was up there, you know? And as you know, I'm prioritizing the Game Boy library as for the games I play so that I can finish that. Move on to a different game library. This game has... I mean, first of all, you gotta applaud that they're actually able to make this and make it similar to the original game, I assume. Because, I mean, you just walk around, I assume... I actually will not assume that. I was going to say it's like Resident Evil, where they take photos of real things, and you can just walk around it. I don't know if they did that for this game. Either way, kind of impressive that they were able to translate it. That being said, the game is terrible. Okay? What do you do in this game? You walk around and interact with stuff and hope that something happens. And then besides that, you've got this quote-unquote gameplay. Terrible controls in this section, or in these parts, where you just shoot random fucking animals. Animal abuse, dude. You just shoot animals for no reason. What's even happening? Yeah, this game is terrible. What is there to be said? I mean, there's also no music. And it's not scary, dude. This game is not scary at all. Don't really think there's anything else to be said about this. Moving on. Killer for the NES. Okay. So this game was notorious. This was a game that was banned for its violence in the arcades. And there's an unlicensed NES version. And as you can see, you torture people. Why? I don't know. Why do you torture people in this game? The first two levels are not torturing random people. It's just shooting things in the graveyard and shooting things in this mansion, I guess. They're like ghosts and stuff. And then there's this dog on level 2 that you can shoot. But you can't actually shoot it. Nothing happens if you shoot the dog. Okay, so why is it there? I don't know. This game's like also impossible to lose. You can't lose in this game. It just goes on forever. And you just gotta say, it's time to stop. It's time to stop playing this game because I could play this forever. Like, I wonder who has played Chiller the longest out of any human being in one sitting. Like, has anyone played this game for 10 hours straight? That would be freaking insane. But as you can see by the box art is actually kind of cool. And as you can see, it's a spooky game. But why do you torture people? I don't understand. Either way, this is one of the light gun games, and it's a terrible light gun game. Light gun games already are generally bad for the NES. This is probably the worst one I've played. But at least the violence is kind of like... It's got that novelty for being violent. One of the most violent games at the time, I suppose. So yeah. You just shoot these people's limbs off. And there's other things you can do. Like you can shoot this thing to come down on the guy and decapitate him. I forget what those are called. Guillotine? I hope that's how you say it. Sabrina, the animated series Zapped by WayForward. Now, WayForward's a good developer for the most part, at least now. And they make fantastic looking Game Boy Color games. Game Boy Color games tend to look so shit. Like one that I played recently that I thought looked complete shit was Bionic Commando Elite Forces. People actually liked that game. I thought it was terrible. Probably better than this game though. So despite the charm and the graphics and such, this game looks great. Unfortunately, it's not fun at all. What you do is you go around and you zap these enemies and they turn into people. And then you just zap all the enemies in the level. I hate these games, these platformers. First of all, the controls are not good. I hate these platformers where you just go around and try and fucking find this shit and you don't know where stuff is, and you're just on the level for a stupid amount of time. Why can't you just make a standard fun platform? There's actually some interesting mechanics, like the boots that make you jump like multiple times in the air, the bubble mechanic, you just go up. I don't know, it's fun. Well, those mechanics could be fun if it was made in a game that was not for 2-year-olds, right? If it was just like a good platform with good level design. This game does not have good level design. It's pretty shit. And I was kind of burnt out of the Sabrina the Animated Series because I played Spooked before this, which you'll see later. And I just have to wonder, what is Sabrina? Is this like a franchise? I've never heard of it in my life. I was just looking up spooky games. This game's not spooky, neither of them are. So I don't know what the person on Reddit was talking about when they listed this. I guess she's like a witch or something. So it's spooky, whatever. But yeah, Sabrina's apparently a big deal, which I did not know. There's like Hilda and Zelda. There's like grandmas or something named Hilda and Zelda. Or are they aunts? I don't know. So that's what the Legend of Zelda series took. They took Hilda and Zelda from Sabrina. Is that what I'm understanding? And there's something else that I think that they took that I don't remember. But I was like, what the hell? Sabrina has had so much influence on the Legend of Zelda. I've never heard of Sabrina in my life. So what's going on here? Is that just a coincidence? Or is there a meaning behind Zelda and Hilda? I don't know. I'm confused. Freaking weird, man. Anyway, Friday the 13th NES, number 27. This is actually made by Atlas. See, this is what happens when Atlas is tasked with making an actual video game. It doesn't come out too well. Just kidding. Atlas has made some good games over the year. But this game is actually very similar. It has RPG elements. It's actually very similar to Shin Megami Tensei in the sections, like in the house. As you can see in this image, you go around. It's like just the whole moving through the area, whatever. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. It looks like Shin Megami Tensei. Besides that, the whole game is just walking around, hope Jason shows up. I had to kill all my counselors on purpose. Just so that the likelihood that the counselor I'm playing as would encounter Jason. And the whole game you're just like, fucking, can this Jason show up? And that's why this game sucks, because you just wait. There's really nothing to this game. Like, you just walk around, kill some enemies sometimes. There's really no challenge here. You just hope Jason shows up. And you get the torch, and when he shows up, you just spam it at him and he dies. Although don't encounter him in these punch out scenarios, because it's actually hard. So yeah. And this is based off the second Friday the 13th movie. I've never seen that movie. I've seen the first Friday the 13th, where Jason is not really a thing. But yeah. Anyway, I do like the purple. People make fun of the purple outfit. I think it's pretty cool. Maniac Mansion. Now you might be like, well, first of all, LucasArts. So George Lucas actually made this game. Just kidding. Not really. Whatever. Anyway, you might be like, wait, this game's actually good. Well, I hate point and click games, especially ones where you have to be so specific, right? You gotta you got all these options here. It's like get, use, read, pull, push, give. You gotta be so specific. Turn on, turn off. Like, do we really need that many fucking things? And it's just tedious to do that. Point and click games really have no gameplay and they're just boring. So, although, I mean, if you're, rating this as an actual point and click game, you'd have to say it's pretty good. You can microwave a hamster, and then the owner of the hamster, when he discovers it, when you show it to him, he fucking kills your character, and your character is dead permanently. He's gone forever. So that's cool. I mean, there's stuff like that. But like this game's just not remotely fun. It's painful to play, and that's why I don't like it. And it's simply because I do not like point and click games. Whatever. Maybe I'm ignorant. Ghoul School for the NES. So, I mean, this is like, you just go around and, I don't want to say it's like a Metroidvania. There's no map, but it's kind of like a Metroidvania. I mean, you get upgrades, you get weapons, new weapons and shit. And how do you beat this game? Well, what you do is you get the boots, you go in a locker, you switch boots, you become invincible. It's a glitch. Kind of really easy to pull off, makes the game a joke. One thing I can say that I like about this game is, well, first of all, I can say the controls are shit. You can do nothing but walk and jump. I guess you can go upside down. You can, like, walk upside down, which is kind of cool. Oh, the rating is 1.5 out of 5, by the way. You can't see it, but whatever. 1.5 out of 5. Yeah, I mean, I kind of like the art style, I suppose. Besides that, it's just lousy gameplay. It's not fun, so it's not the worst game, you know. Obviously, it's 25th, but kind of sucks. Not gonna lie, I don't really know if there's much to say about it. It seems like it would be fun at first glance, but it's not. Night Trap. This is also sort of a point and click game, except you point to different areas. This game's pretty innovative. Fun fact: they actually recorded the footage in 1987, and it wasn't until 1992 they actually made a game of it. So you could say this was one of the longest development times for a game at the time, I would assume. This game is infamous for really being responsible, along with Mortal Kombat, for the ESRB. So it's pretty famous. It's pretty revolutionary game, I suppose. But yeah, this game's a meme. You just kind of look around, spam click when you see bad guys, except for 2 scenarios where if you spam click, the survivor dies, I suppose. So avoid that. You can make this game free if you just look up the times and where to go, which is what I did because I could not be bothered with fucking playing this game for that long. But yeah, I mean, it's a unique game. It's a meme. So that's what I can say about it. Ultimate Ghosts and Goblins, that is, for the PSP. Now, this is a game that, well, should have been good. I was kind of enjoying myself, sort of, until the game said, fuck you, you need 22 rings. And they add RPG elements to Ghosts and Goblins. Why do you do that, dude? Why can't you just make a normal video game? I mean, Gargoyle's Quest isn't enough for the RPG elements. And besides that, you just replay levels, try and collect rings on them. It's not fun to do that at all. I know they're trying to do that because in the old games you play through twice. You could do 2 loops. And, yeah, it's pretty shitty that they would do that. And it makes the game not fun when you gotta fucking find the rings. Would be way better if it was just a standard start to finish sort of thing instead of making the game drag due to the rings. Yeah, I mean, this is the worst Ghosts and Goblins game I've ever played, so what is there to say about that, really? And the difficulty balance is not there. What I mean is that the game is harder at the beginning. The second level is the hardest. By far, right? Like, none of the other levels are actually hard. The second level is the hardest. Why? That's stupid. Anyway, moving on. We got Altered Beast. I'm surprised people actually like this game. I mean, it's pretty shitty beat 'em up. Not much to say about it. You just hit these blue dogs and then they drop magic or something and power-ups or whatever, and then you can transform into these beasts. I mean, it's kind of funny, right? But the only reason people like this game, I found out, is because this was Sega's go-to. They actually developed this game, which is kind of surprising. I thought Sega made good games back then, not this one apparently. This was the game that came with the Sega Genesis, so that's the only reason people have fond memories of it. But even then, like, people don't like this game that much. It's not like Super Mario Bros. Where people are like, this game is such a classic. No. But yeah, what is there to say? It's just like not a good beat 'em up. Doki Doki Literature Club. Now you might be wondering, what the fuck? Well, apparently this game is supposed to be spooky. It's for Macintosh, by the way. This game's for Mac. What? Why is it for Mac? That's what I played it on. This is what showed up when I looked up spooky games. How is this game spooky? Are you seeing this? Anyway, you might be wondering, well, you gave it a 2 out of 5. Why'd you give it a 2 out of 5? There's anime girls, that's why. And that gets you a 2 out of 5 by default. After the game, let's talk about it. It's not a game. People say this is a game. It's not a game. Why do you call it a game? You can literally play this game blindfolded, spam the spacebar. It plays itself. There's no gameplay to be found. The only thing you do in this game is delete a .chr file, which, by the way, makes no sense. Games don't have fucking chr files that you can just delete and then whatever. Makes no sense. This game was made in Unity. That's no. That shit's stupid. Anyway, let's talk about the characters. First of all, people say that they're really attached to the characters in this game. Why? Shit hits the fan pretty early on before I could get attached to any of the characters. I don't understand how people are so attached to the characters. It makes no sense to me. Let's talk about Sayori. So she wants to kill herself. She's like the childhood friend. She was my favorite girl, but she wants to kill herself because I think Monica fucked with her her coding or something. That's kind of the only explanation it gives, as far as I know, because it came out of nowhere basically, and then she hangs herself, and it's like, oh, okay. And then this Yuri girl, all right, she likes knives. She was the shy type, and then she becomes a yandere later on. She likes knives, and she cuts herself. What else you say about her? I don't know. That's it. Then you got Natsuki. So she's short because of stress, and she is what is it called? Tsundere. And she has stress because she's beaten by her father. Why does her father beat her? Well, the only thing that they really tell you, as far as I saw, is because she reads manga. Like, what? Seems kind of unrealistic to me. Someone would get beaten for reading manga, which is why she hides it at the school. Like, if your father sees you reading Kimba the White Lion, is he going to beat you? I don't think so, because Osamu Tezuka is like the Walt Disney of Japan, you know? He's super respected. No one's going to beat you for reading Kimba the White Lion. They're going to be like, damn, I'm so proud of you. Maybe if you didn't read shit manga, you know, then maybe that wouldn't have happened. But anyway, basically, these characters have quote-unquote mental problems, which apparently adds depth to them when they actually have no depth. None of these characters, they're all super one-dimensional. And this game doesn't really have anything outside the literature club. You don't even know where it takes place, which is something that's mentioned later. There's no other characters. You don't see class, you know. You don't see anything else besides this literature club. And then there's poems. First of all, who the fuck likes poems? Does anyone like poems? I don't like poems, you know. I thought that part was stupid. You know, you just fucking read poems. Just skip the poems. Don't even read them. Kind of pointless. And then you got Monica, who is like, why do people like Monica? She's not doing shit. Well, it's because at the end of the game, well, she just fucks everyone. She kills everyone, basically. And then she just stares at you for like hours. And it's like, okay. And then it's basically the game creator's random thoughts like, I'm a vegetarian because global warming is bad. Okay. Cool. Wow. I'm a vegetarian too. And for that, and because I like animals. Monica doesn't like animals though. She just says global warming, whatever. Climate change, whatever. And then there's just other stuff like college is stupid. It's just a bunch of random thoughts that are really obvious and not deep. I don't know if they're supposed to like be deep. I think it's just like the developer Dan Salvato, a Smash player. He just had random fucking thoughts and he put them in the game. Just so that it could seem like Monica would talk forever, I suppose. Because I was there on that screen for like an hour or 2 hours. I don't know how long she goes on about shit. Could be forever, I don't know. And then it's like, oh, you gotta delete the CHR file, which, as I said, makes no sense, dude. That's not how it works. The fuck? And then, yeah, this game's not spooky either. I will say, well, yeah, this game tries to be a deconstruction of visual novels. It's like, wow, you're so edgy. Look, this game cannot compare to the great visual novels like Nekopada or Katawa Shoujo. It's just not even close. And yeah, and then Monica's like, why do people like the character types with no substance, like tsundere and yandere and stuff? It's like, well, none of the characters in this game have substance. I'm sorry to say, none of them have any substance. Sabrina, the animated series, spooked. Why did I like this one more? I don't know. Maybe it's because I wasn't so burnt out, but I do think this game is better than the first Sabrina game. You go around collecting 3 gems, which is better than fucking zapping all the fucking animals. I like that a bit more. This game's not much better than Zap. The ratings don't really make that much sense. But I do think it's better than Zapped. It was shorter. Again, you got kind of more fun mechanics like shrinking. I've never seen that shrinks like such a small shrink sprite, except in like New Super Mario Bros, where it's Tiny Mario, or in Earthbound, you become really tiny. Either way, I think this game just has more fun mechanics. That's the only reason I put it higher. That's the only thing I can say as an excuse for doing that. Ghostbusters. Well, this game, I originally gave this a 2.5 out of 5. It's actually a 2 out of 5. Developed by HAL Laboratory. Publisher Activision. Activision sucks. They made the original Ghostbusters games. These are terrible. In comparison, this game is great compared to those games. But like, if this was like the first Ghostbusters game that came out, it'd be very acceptable. Unfortunately, I don't like this game because of how repetitive it is. Literally, all you do is go around, zap ghosts, kill ghosts, whatever. And that's the entire game. You've played one level of this game, you've experienced the entire game, minus the boss fights, which is the only time the game kind of switches things up, spices things up, the boss fights. Other than that, there's no level design. There's no interesting level design that changes how the game is played. It's just repetitive, and it becomes boring. So, thankfully, I didn't get a game over, so I didn't have to play through this shit twice. But yeah, I hope new Ghostbusters for NES is better than this. Baby Felix Halloween. Now, this is made by Bit Managers. They made quite a few games like Asterix and Turok for the Game Boy. And one thing I'll say is Bit Managers has a godlike composer for other games. That is the best thing about Bit Managers games. They got one of the greatest composers ever, really, for any video games. He fucking pops off every time. Great composer. As for this game, well, it's not as good as the original Felix the Cat for Game Boy and NES. But, I mean, it's acceptable. I mean, you got 2 playable characters, but they don't really play any different at all. It says Baby Felix Halloween. Literally only the first level is Halloween themed, so that's stupid. Should have kept that for like the whole thing. Anyway, Baby Felix is actually an anime, right? Which is kind of weird. It's like a Japan thing, exclusive, I guess. Actually, I don't know. I think maybe it was localized at one point. It was they released some episodes in Europe or something. I don't know. I kind of want to watch Baby Felix because it is an anime. I guess it was a big deal or something. Why did they have to make a Baby Felix? I don't know. Either way, I don't really like these Bit Manager games. I don't really like how, I don't know, like killing enemies in these games is so unsatisfying. I mean, the levels weren't total garbage in this game. There's just not much to say about it. It's pretty standard platformer. It wasn't offensive or anything. It was like fine, you know. So I gave it a 2.5, which is kind of eyeballing. It's kind of being nice to this game, but whatever. Ghostbusters video game remastered. Well, a lot of people say this is Ghostbusters 3 because apparently Harold Ramis is one of the writers for the game. They got all the voices back for this game. Even though it's Ghostbusters 3, they do take a lot from the original Ghostbusters movie, so I don't really think you can call it that. I mean, the Marshmallow Man, the hotel level, a lot of this shit is from Ghostbusters 1. Not really a lot of new stuff in this game. Game gets pretty repetitive fast. Just catching ghosts is not that fun. Although I do think the levels are pretty cool. Like the level with the hotel floods, I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, this game's just not that fun, but it's not bad. It's not like it's overly long. I didn't really think this game was funny at any moment. I feel like they wrote Bill Murray's character, whose name I forgot, kind of poorly. It's just like, wow, he likes women. Okay. Basically, that's it. That's his whole character in this game. That's all his dialogue. Comes back to that, whatever. Except in the Dead, this game was really boring at first. Because I was playing on easy mode without knowing, because guess what? There's 3 difficulties. Bitch, agent, and motherfucker, which I didn't know there were difficulties. I saw that, I was like, what is that? And I just like, mashed through to get to the game. And I realized bitch is the easy difficulty, so it made the game super boring. If I played this game on the harder difficulties, I would have liked it a lot more. Just because typing is actually fun, but the problem is you could go on 10fastfingers.com or something, maybe it's .net, and have more fun than playing this game. But I do think typing is fun. I do like the idea of a game, having typing as the gameplay, whatever. First Time of the Dead is way better than this. It had more creative boss fights, like the boss fight that you have to answer the questions it gives you or whatever. That's pretty cool. I like that game way more. Also, the cheesiness of the cutscenes and stuff. Oh god, I have to change the music that's playing because it's choosing bad ones. I think it ran out of the I ran out of the good themes in that game. So I'll pick a different thing. Alright, there we go. Alright, so spoilers. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, the cheesiness of the original game is really funny. But for this game, just skip all the cutscenes. Skip that shit. As for the House of the Dead series, the House of the Dead series is probably not fun at all. I think the only thing that's fun about these games is that you get to type. If I was playing House of the Dead, probably wouldn't like this game even a little bit. If it was the House of the Dead version. Luckily, they made it a typing version, which is way better. Yeah, make more typing games. They're cool. Dead by Daylight. So this is a game, I beat it. I beat it so hard. I killed all the fucking survivors. And then, well, guess what? I tried to play as a survivor. I tried to do a survivor playthrough, but I literally waited like half an hour. No one was showing up. And then when I play as a killer, I get a match immediately. So if you're playing by yourself, you gotta play as the killer, alright? If you have friends, then you can play as a survivor, but I don't have friends, so it's impossible. Anyway. I don't know what happened. I used to face camp people Leatherface because you could rev your chainsaw forever, but for some reason in this game, I think they updated it so you can't do that forever as Leatherface, or something else was going on. Because the chainsaw would just rip when I was like revving it halfway for no reason. Now it was kind of confusing. So I had to play as Hillbilly, and I forgot I had the perk that allows you when all the generators are fixed or whatever, when people are trying to escape, all you have to do is hit them once and they're knocked down, which is actually really OP. This game's not bad, but it does get pretty boring fast. It's not really a game you can like play for a long time, in my opinion. Some people have a shit ton of hours in this. Whatever. Oh, my rating is 2.5 out of 5. You can't see that, though. Yeah, I mean, I do think playing as Killer is a bit more fun than Survivor, obviously. Survivor is just kind of cringe to play as, but this game's also kind of cringe. Like, there's so many just annoying things in this game. Like Hex. What is it called? Hex. whatever. Hex is stupid if you're a survivor. Flashlight's stupid if you're a killer. That shit's so annoying when everyone has a goddamn flashlight. Like 4 people shining you with flashlights. It's like, what? Whatever. Dead by Daylight. Castlevania Judgment. Now this game is pretty garbage. Just kidding. Well, it's not that bad. The reason it's this high is because I think it'd be fun if I actually played it with another human being. The thing that I don't like about this game is how bad it feels to control. Like, all the moves have so much in lag. It's like, well, you know, I could just be bad. I couldn't understand the moves that you're supposed to be using. But it's like, so it just doesn't feel that good to control. All the moves have, well, quote unquote, all the moves have so much in lag. It's like, at least has Simon. And then the heart shit is like kind of weird. It's like hearts seem like pretty RNG if they drop, and then you got like a sub weapon you can use. I don't know, it's kind of weird. But the thing is, I would love a Castlevania Judgment 2. I do like the Death Note artist, his character designs for this game. People don't like it. The Death Note artist is one of my favorite artists. So yeah. I like that about it, but I would love another Castlevania game. It doesn't even have to be like 3D. It could be 2D. That'd be way better. But I didn't realize I want a Castlevania fighting game. I think it's pretty cool, though. They should make another one. Anyway, moving on. Kind of weird. There's also characters exclusive to this game. That's like, why? Just why? Kind of weird. Super Ghouls and Ghosts. By far the hardest game I played this month. Possibly the hardest game I've ever beaten. This game took me a lot of time, and I was having a good time until the last level of the second loop. So the rest of the time I was actually having fun. I think the levels in this game are really good level design, except for the last level. It's kind of boring. It's pretty standard. The first level is really good, the second's really good, so on. The art style is really cool. But this game fell apart 7 hours in when I was on the last level, Loop 2. Which 7 hours is not a long time, right? For this sort of game, I'm sure. I mean, that's fine, right? But then it takes me, what, like, how many hours to beat the last level? Could have taken 11 hours or something. It might have taken me 11 hours to beat the last level. And I had no problem beating at Loop 1 because it gives you the arrows. Well, Loop 2 is harder, obviously, so it's already harder, the level. But, basically, it gives you such a shit weapon, it makes the game super hard. And you have to make sure that you have the arm. Well, you don't. You need to make sure you got the full armor upgrade so you can even get the level to begin with, which makes it so annoying when you lose the weapon, because you have to go through the level with a without getting hit once. Basically, if this game did not make you use that stupid fucking weapon on the last level, I would have liked it a lot more. But instead, more than what, like more than 60% of the game or something, I was on the last level. That's completely unbalanced. This is by far the hardest game in the series. I can say that. Maybe Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection is harder, even though that's impossible. So now you can infinitely respawn, and there's also 2-player in that game. Well, you can infinitely respawn in the easy difficulty. This game I played on normal mode, so I don't know if easy mode's much better. Or much easier. I wanted to like this game. I didn't mention how slow it is. It's a really slow game. There's a lot of slowdown. Ghouls and Ghosts for the Genesis is way faster and feels great to control, which you'll see later. I prefer that game vastly to this one. But this game should have been good. Unfortunately, they dropped the ball with the last level, in my opinion. That shit was driving me crazy. Wendy. So this is number 12. So this is pretty high. This is like a 40-minute long game or something. It's more like half an hour long, honestly. That being said, it's pretty fun. You got this gravity thing. You go upside down and stuff, and it's got fun level design, and it's really fucking easy, but that's fine. It's developed by WayForward. Way better than the Sabrina games. Got nice graphics as well. But yeah, if you want a good game, to play for like 35 minutes or something. Play Wendy. Plus 3 levels exclusive for the Game Boy Advance. Well, I'll never know what those levels are. Seems kind of stupid and random that they would do that. But this is a freaking Game Boy Color game, dude. Like, was Nintendo like, you gotta make 3 levels exclusive for the Game Boy Advance. You gotta help us sell this shit. Is that, because why else would they do that, right? Why else would they do that? They don't benefit by it being played on Game Boy Advance. They do not benefit. Maybe it's because Game Boy Color games were outdated, so if someone saw that, they're like, shit, I have a Game Boy Advance, but whatever. I'm just guessing. Either way, I like the levels, and I like the upside down stuff. It's pretty fun, but, you know. And now we're to the good, now we're to the actual good games. Oh, what the fuck? Now we're to the good games, right? 3 out of 5 and up. These are the games I actually really liked. Hammer and Harry. This game's kind of hard. Not gonna lie. IREM. Publisher Atlas. Kind of 2 big names right there. I do look at, first of all, the box art is so bad. Why is there no Ghost Building Company on the cover? One sec. This game's pretty cool. It's got good levels. Mixes it up. It's really slow. The moving speed is slow. It's got good boss fights. Love the graphics. Good music. What is there that can be said about this game besides that? I mean, it's just fun. It's pretty fun. There's this one level I really hate though, so that's why it's this slow. But yeah, Hammer and Harry. Appreciate this game. Good job, IREM. Splatterhouse. I've never played a Splatterhouse besides this one. This is like a parody of the series. It's pretty fun. This game is pretty fun. It's a Famicom exclusive, unfortunately. It should be on NES. Look how, well, first of all, this is like the most Halloweeny game on here by far. Look at just how cute the box art is, and the game's pretty cute itself, and it's just fun. In the image, it's actually a reference to Thriller, which is kind of cool. They're doing a Thriller dance, and the Dracula is giving you the middle finger, which is like, whoa, what the? This game is 1988. That's kind of freaking long time. That's like pretty freaking early in the NES lifespan. But yeah, I mean, this game's cool just to play, so you can see what the hell weird, crazy stuff you'll find. There's a lot of weird and crazy stuff in this game. My main complaint is the weapon. It's just such a short range, and I mean, really all you do in this game is jump and swing. That's it. It doesn't really give you any special weapons or upgrades or stuff. So that's my main complaints about this game. Should have been something more than just jump and swing with this very short range weapon. Is kind of annoying when you have to get so close to enemies. I prefer Castlevania with the whip, or Mega Man. You don't even have to be close to them in those games. But you know, this game's not hard either, so it's not like I'm complaining that it's too hard because it's short range. I just think, I don't know. I was just saying what I prefer. Monster in My Pocket. Interesting thing about this, Monster in My Pocket was a thing I don't really understand. It's like these shitty toys that are really garbage looking that you put in your pocket, and this, where's the fun in that? Anyway, Monster in My Pocket actually, they tried to sue Pokemon in like 2004, and that was my first, that was the first thing I thought when I heard Monster in My Pocket. That's like Pokemon. Pokemon's way better than Monster in My Pocket. There's no appeal of Monster in My Pocket. They were fucking irrelevant by 2004 probably, so they desperately tried to sell Pokemon for being more successful. But this game's developed by Konami, so it's pretty good. Love the music. It's 2-player, so if I play with 2-player, it'd be way more fun probably. As a 1-player game, it's not that fun. But yeah, you can play as Frankenstein or a vampire. And it's just like kind of a beat 'em up. It's not really a beat 'em up. It's kind of just a side scroll game. It's action game. And the levels are sort of based around these miniature figures. It's not really that Halloween theme besides the characters, obviously, because the levels themselves are just like tables and houses and kitchens and shit. So either way, it's a pretty fun game. Not gonna lie. So Bubble Ghost, this is a fun game. This is a fun game right here. So you know those levels in Super Mario Galaxy where you kind of, push Mario when he's a bubble? It's probably the worst part of Super Mario Galaxy, but this is basically the entire game is that, except done really well because the levels are fun. For some reason, they don't give you unlimited continues, so you gotta restart the entire game over when you pop the bubble too many times. But I didn't really mind that because it was a lot of fun. And main thing, I don't know if it's worth complaining about. Just sometimes the controls, because you got to be really precise with the bubble, and it's like sometimes the ghost is not in the position I want him to be. I don't know if that's really a fault of the controls or if it's just like, I don't know. That part's annoying. Either way, fun game. It was actually for the Atari ST, and this is a Game Boy version. The levels are exactly the same. Atari ST version doesn't have the same level of charm as with the graphics. And it has no music. The music in this game is pretty good. This is actually obviously a Japanese developer made this version. It's pretty obvious just looking at it. You can tell it's a Japanese game. The composer for this game was actually the same composer as Final Fantasy XII and a bunch of other games, like Final Fantasy Tactics, as well as like some Dragon Quest games, I think. So, pretty prolific composer. I don't really know what else this game studio made. Ghouls and Ghosts. So, I really like this game. Only thing I didn't like about this game was that I didn't know you need this freaking magic for the last level. So I had to play through it twice, which really pissed me off, kind of wasted my time. Because you only have to do one loop if you get the magic, but of course, playing blind, I didn't freaking know that. Really annoying did that happen. But as far as the game itself, I love the speed to it. It's really fluid. I suppose way better controls than the Super Ghouls and Ghosts game, mainly because there's no slowdown. It just feels great to control. Plus, you can shoot up and down, which is really cool. You got these other special moves you can do with the gold armor. But yeah, I really like this game, to be honest. It's like the perfect Ghosts and Goblins game I've played so far. And people say this game's hard. This game's not hard at all. I played professional difficulty my first playthrough. I would have beaten it in like a short amount of time had I known you need the magic. But I didn't know. So I played it 2 loops under 3 hours on professional difficulty. So people that say this game is hard don't know what they're talking about. It's often listed as one of the hardest Genesis games. Watch Mojo put it as their number 2 hardest Genesis game. They're wrong. They don't know what they're talking about. Watch Mojo, you're stupid. Either way, love the levels in this game. Really good boss fights as well. Just a fun game all around. Good job, Capcom. Anyway, we're in the 3.5 out of 5s now, so you know this is the real good shit. Zombies Ate My Neighbors by LucasArts. Publisher Konami. This is like one of the most unique games I've played. Really, it's kind of weird. There's a lot of wacky shit. I love the music. Just the feel to the game. It's just very strange. There's a lot of levels in this game, and people don't really realize this game's not that hard. Because they're like, well, if you use passwords, you lose all your weapons and shit. Well, you don't need them. And people are like, well, you're down to 1 neighbor. So that's not good. Anyway, I'm gonna switch again. I'm gonna switch the music. I also play Symphony of the Night. I've never played Symphony of the Night before, but I know it's got a good soundtrack, right? I don't know. I want to play Symphony of the Night. Unfortunately, I don't have a means to right now. Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Is it showing on my stream? I hope so. Yeah, it should be. I guess my phone stream is behind. It says 55 levels. I only played 48 because some of them are just optional. I don't even know how you get to them. Anyway, this game is worth playing just to see what kind of crazy shit you'll see. Just like Splatterhouse, like you fight a giant baby. Really annoying shit is when you're down to one neighbor, which makes the game faster. But that one neighbor can randomly die, and when your neighbors die, you get a game over when your one neighbor dies. And you cannot even be near them, and they just get killed by a freaking enemy, and it's annoying to get a game over from that, because it just feels like luck, which really it is. Anyway, this game's not hard except for the last 4 levels, which took me a long time to beat. But you got to figure out a strategy, which I did to beat them. So it's not that hard once you figure it out. Which is just I used my monster potion on the worms in level 3 or whatever, and then I sit, and that makes me basically set to attempt the final boss. But yeah, basically the last 4 levels are the only hard part of this game. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say about this game. I said my complaints. I said what I liked about it. I think it's pretty just a fun game. I like the levels as well. The levels are really good. Whatever. Gargoyle's Quest. Now, who knew I would have liked Gargoyle's Quest this much? Not me. I thought this game was probably overhyped before playing it. It's not. It's the best series. It's the best game in the Ghosts and Goblins series I played so far. First of all, why is he called a gargoyle? I thought they were the Red Devil. Whatever. The mechanics of this game are so freaking good. Just the wall jumping, the flying feels fantastic. The levels are designed so well around it. Plus, you got the projectile that kind of makes you able to wall jump on spikes, and that's just like really satisfying to do. And really, the only complaint I have with this game is the RPG elements. I think it'd be better if it was just a normal game instead of adding RPG elements for no reason. It's kind of fucking pointless. You just have to do the same. It's like those random encounters. You just have to do them for no reason, and it's just repetitive. I don't like that. I don't like that they put that in the game. It's like, I guess if you remove that, then the game really doesn't have that many levels and stuff, but whatever. Although the random encounters have a good amount of variety, so it's not like the worst, but there's quite a few encounters that could happen. But yeah, if this was just like Mega Man, where it's just you could just play straight levels, no bullshit, would have been even better. Would have been even better. But yeah, Gargoyle's Quest, really good. One of the best Game Boy games I've played so far. Castlevania the Dracula X Chronicles. So this is like a remake of Rondo of Blood. I really wish I played Rondo of Blood though. I think I would have loved that one way more than this. This game kind of requires you to save everyone, which I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know where to save them or whatever, which I thought was annoying. So that's how you fight the last form of Dracula. Otherwise, if you don't do that, you actually get an optional boss fight with Succubus Annette or something. Vampire Annette, and then she gets murdered. But yeah, this game was really fun, really good music. I just wish I could play the original Rondo of Blood to get the true experience. What do I say about this game now? I mean, it's Castlevania. It's a good Castlevania game. Sorry, someone's texting me, so it's like distracting. Pretty fucking distracting when someone tries to talk to me, you know? It's like, what's wrong with you? I'm trying to think about what else to say about this game. Oh my god, this person needs to stop. I have to move on because I'm tilted. I forgot what I was even talking about in regards to this game. Anyway, you can unlock Symphony of the Night and Rondo of Blood. I'm changing the music because this is annoying. What happened to the normal music, dude? What the fuck? What happened to the normal music? I'll do Bloodstained music. Let's do Bloodstained. Let's see. Bloodstained has some good music. And it's not very. Oh, this is pretty good. Alright, we got this music going now. Yeah, you can unlock Rondo of Blood and Symphony of the Night, but I didn't know how to do that because obviously I was playing this game without any knowledge of stuff, and it kind of pisses me off knowing I played through the entire game without unlocking that shit, and I can't return to the levels. And I have to play through it again to get to level 4 to bomb the thing, and then you get Rondo of Blood. Why can't I not just play the original Rondo of Blood? That's just how pissed off I am. I'm just really pissed off that I have no easy way of playing Rondo of Blood because all the ROMs and the ISOs don't work when I try to play it. And I don't own a PS4 or PS5 to actually buy it. Instead, you gotta play this game and you gotta unlock it. Which, I mean, if you consider that this game is also Symphony of the Night and Rondo of Blood, I mean, you'd probably have to give this game a super high score in that case. Basically, the only thing that I'm pissed off about this game is that it's not Rondo of Blood. I just want to play that game, not this one. Anyway, Luigi's Mansion. So, this is the best Luigi's Mansion game just because the atmosphere and the fact that the mansion is all connected really helps. The other games are pretty level-based. I mean, the hotel is just different floors, but it's not really connected. It's more just like levels. Even though this game's also different floors, but you actually have to walk back and forth, which kind of gets annoying sometimes to do that. But yeah, I mean, Luigi's Mansion is a game that doesn't overstay its welcome. I feel like the other games do. They're way too long. This game's short for what you're really doing. I mean, you know, I mean, Luigi's Mansion 3 has better mechanics. It just has a worse atmosphere, and it's less memorable overall, I would say. This is actually the second time I've played this game. So yeah, it's one of the 2 games I've actually played more than twice on this list. Oh, sorry, more than once. But yeah, Luigi's Mansion is really good. I didn't think I would like it. I thought maybe it was like a 6 out of 10 from my memory, but played it again. It was fun. It's just a good short game with, you know, lots of memorable stuff. Mostly the bosses, just the ghosts you encounter. Anyway, moving on to the big boys. We're now in the 4 out of 5 territory. That's freaking crazy. A 4 out of 5 game? No way. So I had to replay Super Castlevania 4 because I replayed 1, 2, and 3, and I never replayed this one. So it only made sense to, and I had to see if this game was as good as I remember. It's even better than I remember. Who would have thought? Fantastic music. The controls are amazing. The whip, you can do so much shit with the whip in this game. It's crazy. It makes the sub-weapons irrelevant, but who cares, to be honest. You can moonwalk in this game when you're going up the stairs. The levels are great. Makes great use of the SNES capabilities, just the Mode 7 graphics and all that stuff. But yeah, what else can be said about this game? I just think there's some bullshit level design. Like level 8, stage 8, that's just by far the hardest stage in the game, and it's just annoying. The game that I will be talking about after this is less bullshit, basically. Castlevania Bloodlines. This game, you don't get bullshit deaths, right? Unlike Castlevania 4. The hard thing about this game is that health is scarce. Basically, you just take a bunch of hits. You just have to avoid taking hits. There's no, like, one-hit kills, really. I mean, there are, but... This game also has limited continues, right? So people are like... One thing I like about Castlevania 3, unlike Ninja Gaiden 3, is that there's unlimited continues at least. Well, this game says, well, we're gonna do the Ninja Gaiden 3, give you 2 continues, but you use passwords. but if you've used a continue and you use a password, it's still gone. So you have to basically, I spent a bunch of time on stage 5. My only problem with this game is that I just spend a bunch of time on stage 5 getting through without using a continue so that I could take on stage 6 with enough lives, because I was assuming that one was really hard. Stage 6 is not that hard. But this game's fantastic. Holy crap. Almost everything is good about this game. I don't really, besides what I just mentioned. I don't have any problems with this game, really. Actually, the whip guy is not as fun to play. I think Eric's super fun. The whip guy, I will pass. I don't even want to touch him. Mostly because Simon is way more fun to play in Super Castlevania 4. But I play as the freaking Eric guy with the spear, which is super cool. Anyway, the levels in this game are like nothing I've ever seen in my life. There's just insane level design, especially Dracula's castle. I mean, you just have to play it to see. Just even look up Dracula's castle in this game, even though it's mostly just a boss rush, which the boss fights in this game are amazing. Dracula's castle is just crazy, and there's other stuff like that. Just level design I've never seen. Like, nothing I've ever seen in any other game. And the graphics, dude. This game has such cool, well, I don't know, it's not called Mode 7, but basically, makes full use of the Genesis technology. Like, just, I don't know how to explain it. Like this one boss fight where you're fighting like the bat thing on top of the tower, and it's like spinning around like 3D. And just like the tower that you climb and, well, to get up there. And then the one level where there's like reflection. I don't know, dude. This game was amazing. I almost gave it a 4.5 out of 5, but as I said, the lack of continues kind of pisses me off a little bit. Mostly because, I mean, if you're good at this game, you can just plow through it, I'm sure. But it was pretty annoying because I made it to stage 6 in a relatively short amount of time, like an hour or something, I would say. I made it to stage 5 in like 40 minutes. But stage 6, I don't know, maybe like an hour. And then I had to replay stage 5-1 for like a long time just to make it through on one life. Yeah, there's also like no health pickups in this game, which is pretty hard, but that's not really much of a complaint. But yeah, this game is fantastic. I was kind of blown away. I didn't know I'd like it this much. I didn't know I'd like it more than Castlevania 4, but here I am. Yep, best Genesis game I've played so far. My favorite Genesis game I've played so far, I think. Second being probably Gunstar Heroes or Mega Man The Wily Wars. I've not played that many Genesis games though, so keep that in mind. But this game, extremely impressive. Favorite Classicvania, I think, so far. I think the only one that might be able to dethrone it is Rondo of Blood. Which, by the way, Dracula X... Oops. This game just kind of disappointed me. The fact that I made it all the way through. The main reason it's only a 3.5 out of 5. Made it all the way through only to realize I didn't really get to fight Dracula's third form, and it kind of ended anticlimactically and abruptly. Because I didn't know you had to save the maidens. I don't think it's freaking... I don't like that you are kind of forced to save them. I would like it to just be optional, you know? But you're forced to, basically, to see the true ending. I thought that shit was kind of stupid, kind of whack. Which is why I greatly look forward to playing Rondo of Blood over this. By the way, Bloodstained has a freaking fantastic soundtrack. Holy crap. This game, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, is fantastic, to be honest. I played all the Bloodstained games already, though, so I couldn't replay them. I actually played them all just this year, so I couldn't replay them for Spooktober. But the Bloodstained games are fantastic, for the most part, really. Even if I'm not a big Metroidvania guy, I loved Ritual of the Night. It's really good. But I still prefer the Classicvania style, of course. And the Classicvania mode in Ritual of the Night was kind of stupid due to a glitch I encountered. Anyway, ending it off here. That's the games I played for Spooktober. All 31. Talked about it for an hour. That's crazy. I didn't know. Didn't know I could do that. Whatever. See ya.